Hello and welcome to the show. We're back at the American Descent with 3 more cars, taking on this tricky rally stage, starting with the ETK 800 series. This high-powered, all-wheel drive estate car could potentially stand a chance of going pretty fast, while the suspension not exactly designed to deal with off-road. That hasn't necessarily hindered cars too much so far, and it is a pretty damn powerful car indeed. We got many suggestions for corner names, especially for turn 3. This hairpin is going to, well, from now on be known as Hammond's hairpin. I thank you for all the suggestions, but yes, Hammond's hairpin will be turn 3. Oh, although I've carried a bit too much speed up here. Yeah, I think the jump is going to get us. This jump section, again, many suggestions. The 800 series plummets to its doom. Oh, that's done many damages to the engine. In fact, this gearbox is at a silly angle. If we have just a look underneath there, that's not a good angle for a gearbox to be in a car. Those jumps are going to be called the Sakillalot jumps. Quite a appropriate name, I feel. I quite liked Finland as well for that section, but for good old Robot Wars references, they will be the Sakillalot jumps, and they already are living up to their name. Okay, so this car is pretty fast. You end up approaching some corners with a bit more speed than we have seen in, in previous times, like that, for example. Oh, yeah, okay, this is going quite a lot quicker. It's not going to be flat through, well, turn 1 and turn 2. It's not going to probably get through Daytona flat out in the same way that we saw from cars last time. It's not that it doesn't have the grip, it's just that it's got an awful lot more speed going through there than other stuff. Ouch. That's another big old wreck. I think I've tweaked the steering in that landing. I think we might have bent something important in the front of the car. It doesn't really seem to drive in a straight line anymore. Oh, I've got to be way earlier on the brakes there as well. Can we get through, navigate our way down here safely? I somehow would be surprised if we could. Oh, we did, and then we didn't. We were, but then just got too steep. Actually, no, the front wheel still works. It's a shortcut, kind of. It's kind of a shortcut. There's a finish line somewhere over there, if we don't bump into the trees. Hey! I'm amazed the front of the car actually survived that drop, because there's a really big drop. I say survived, it's quite badly bent, but does still work amazingly. We okay? Across the Killalot jumps, not this time. Nope, he's got us. Unfortunately, there is no pit of oblivion to be dumped in. Instead, we will just go into the Bolide stream, I think. Yep, we will make it to the Bolide stream. Oh, that's apparently destroys some tyres in all of that. We've made a more streamlined version of the 800 series, minus some tyres. But is looking pretty good. Oh, it's a smidge wide on the way in, but you actually get a pretty decent run on the way out the other side. The 800 series is also quite happy to be thrown sideways through Sebring, which is nice to know. That's not stopping. Ooh. That just gave up brake. What happened there? It always feels like the brakes just stopped working. I'm very confused. That is a very weird one, because that didn't even seem like that was losing any speed in the braking zone. Oh, it felt like a brake failure, but I don't know why. Certainly not overheated when we got to that point on the stage. Not had time to. That's very, very weird, and that's a big crash. Well, if we can not have any more brake failures, that would be good. I'm liking the 800 series. I am liking the car down here. It's a fun enough vehicle to drive. It's just one you got to be very, very careful with because of the huge amounts of speed that it is able to take. And it's still being, you know, a fairly big, fairly heavy road-going estate car. It is good fun to throw it around through the corners, and we are still carrying pretty good speed, I feel, through a lot of these turns. The kill-a-lot jumps are not too pleasant to the car. It smacks the front end a little bit, as you would again expect perhaps from a road car. No real harm done from that, as long as we're not buckling wheels and so on, then we will be okay. This hairpin's an interesting one. It feels like you slide really wide on the way in, but it kind of gets tight. It kind of works out on the exit. It's a strange one, but yeah, it seems like it's all okay. This hairpin is causing real problems for the 800 series, so we're going to be a little bit careful, and then we will chuck the car in. That has worked. We do have a new name for this final corner. It shall be Don't Cut, because, well, you cut that bit down there, you clonk the ground, and you go for a potential roll. That's all neatly done this time around, as it's going to be up across the finish line, and through the caravan we go for the 800 series. Good crash on the caravan, actually. Well done, you separated everything fully. You even got the toilet out of the caravan, and with, well, minor-ish damage done to the 800 series. Yeah, that felt like a good run. That felt like a good run. I like the car. I like the car a lot. It is not quite the easiest to drive down here. However, yeah, when you kind of get things right, it does all flow together very nicely. There we go. We got rid of that bit of. One of the shelves pretty much stayed by the finish line as well. Yep, definitely a good scatter on that caravan crash. The stage time felt good. We'll have to wait and see, though, what it's going to be. Up next, we move from the big, heavy all-wheel drive estate to a small, light, rear-wheel drive race car. This is the Miramar. It's in the track spec, however, of course, fitted with our mandatory off-road tyres, so we should have plenty of traction and grip on the dirt. How it's going to deal with the jumps and the bumps, however, not so sure. Fingers crossed, it will be okay. Now this is more likely to be flat through these corners, although that's going quicker than I thought it was going to be at that. Maybe not flat through those first corners. Maybe not flat at all through those first corners. Come on, crawl your way. Oh. It's not going to crawl its way back onto its wheels, is it? Nope, that's in a ditch, and that's very broken. That's very broken indeed. Up over panorama we go with, a bit of a twist. The kill-a-lot jumps are going to claim another victim. That's going to be a painful one. Somehow only the radiator's leaking from that. Oh, the fuel tank's leaking as well. It's leaking a lot of fire. Hold on. Come on, car. You can make it to the finish. No. It can't. Oh. Amazingly, I mean, I'd get out of that in a hurry if I was in it. Amazingly, the fuel tank and radiator, the only thing that technically took damage, according to the indicator. However, we do not have any steering. It does still somehow have drive. Like, the drive shaft's okay. Chassis is so bent that the car doesn't put any of that drive down because the wheels are wobbling. But that was a big crash for the Miramar. Now, where the hell are we going to brake? Down here. Oh, not like that. Not like that. Not like that. Or maybe like that. Maybe like that. I thought we were gonna bin the car completely through all of that. Don't cut. Ooh. We didn't cut. Don't cut. We kind of got a bit bumped wide, and apparently those rocks are savage to rear tyres. Or to tyres. There's obviously a bit if you hit it. There's some sharp, spiky rocks out there in the Bolide stream that like to steal tyres from cars. Okay, maybe a little bit slower around that kind of final corner. With this one, kill-a-lot jumps have got us. Kill-a-lot jumps have got us good there. I clipped the inside of the hill on the way in, and that was always going to throw us out of position. Could have been a worse crash. However, yeah, that was bad car positioning. That was very bad car positioning by me. Well, so far, I'm liking the Miramar as a rally car down here. It is good fun to drive, not quite the easiest. I think a combination of it being very light and being, well, a track car with some rally tyres stuck on it, it does get thrown around a bit. On these bumps. You've got to be wary of that. It's not too bad, though, in the whole sort of throwing it into the hairpins. It's not kind of oversteering massively. We're not really spinning the car. I'm able to just throw it in enough to get the rear end turned, but not so much that it keeps going. That's the ideal, that's the dream, and it is working pretty well in the Miramar. It doesn't really like the kill-a-lot jumps. They cause some issues to the car, but it's not the worst. It's not as bad as it could be across there, and I have no doubt there will be cars that are worse. It's pretty good under brakes as well. That is very helpful indeed. Now we'll chuck it sideways. Chucking cars sideways through Sebring seems to be working. It seems to be helpful to kind of get the cars turned before they start going across the bumps. While it might be a little bit slower mid-corner, with the way the cars seem to interact with that section, it'd actually get a neater line out of it. Around the final turn we go. Not cutting it this time. We're not playing out on the tyre chomping rocks, although it's a big bit of wheel spin up towards the finish line. It will be across the line for the Miramar. I'm not quite expecting it to get wheel spin at that point on the circuit. That might have cost us a little bit of time. Of course, that is always the downside with the rear-wheel drive cars in this series, and well, the front-wheel drive cars as well, for that matter. Traction is never quite going to be as good. That being said, still felt like a pretty quick run. The Caravan is being stubborn. There we go. Still being quite stubborn. Still being quite stubborn. We have got the oven free, so we can cook dinner if people want dinner cooked on that oven. Let's have a Miramar shoved through it twice. Yeah, fun car to drive down here. That much is for sure. I'll be interested to see how it compares to the other rear-wheel drive cars. Our third and final vehicle today is an interesting one. This is the Maluch, but it is not a normal one. As you can see, this off-road version of the car, massively raised up suspension, huge wheels. I believe it is all-wheel drive. Not the most powerful engine in it, no, but it is, again, very light. It is rear-engined as well. Now, I can't change the wheels on this car. They are fixed, so we cannot put the mandatory wheels on the vehicle, but they are off-road tyres, so at least it should be relatively comparable. Oh, they put the handbrake on, apparently, so we're going to go roll away a little bit from the start. Let's sort that out. It does have another party trick up its sleeve. It will be the first car on this course that will actually wheelie away from the line. It doesn't, it doesn't wheelie for very long. However, yeah, that is a wheelie from the other little Maluch. No real clue how this thing is going to handle around here. As I said, it's not got a horrendously powerful engine. It's okay. Oh, God, with a fair bit of understeer out of Hammond's hairpin, playing it very dangerously with the edge of the cliff right there. Up over Panorama we go with a little bit of a bump. Oh, the kill-a-lot jumps. We're out of place. We're out of place. Bad things have gone on for the Maluch. Ooh, real bad things have gone on for the Maluch, although I actually think that might have survived. Can we grab a reverse? It did! Oh, it's a sad-looking car. Oh, poor little man. That's an unfortunate crash for the car. Also, it does look like the driver's seat has fallen through the floor. Just a smidge. The passenger seat fell out. The passenger seat fell out. The driver's door's gone. The driver's seat has fallen over. It's an unfortunate crash, but in many ways very amusing one as well. Does seem pretty grippy, or at least grippy enough. That was about 55 through Daytona, and it just about clung on. Oh, we get that. We get that mid-corner understeer going from this. I think as I get on the power, that rear engine weight distribution wants to just lift the front wheels off the ground. Not lift them off, but unload them slightly. And then we lose a little bit of turning when I'm not quite expecting it. And that leads to a car in a ditch somewhere. Right, let's not do that one again. Little bit wide. Careful. That feels like it'll topple over through some of these. Oh, and I've done that dumb thing again. Done that dumb thing again when I thought the car was sorted around the corner and I could get on the throttle, and I really, really, really couldn't. Can we? Nope. Oh, it's another crunch on the rear of the car. I mean, it's probably still just about workable enough. Yeah, it could probably just about drive its way to the finish line, eventually getting out of this ditch. But oh, it does crab quite badly. I think we've twisted rear of the car is quite twisted now. The wonky across the Killalot jumps, however, suspension working well to see that we don't end up in trouble. Oh, big wheelie out of that corner. Oh, that's not what we wanted. That's an unexpected issue for the car. Oh, we lost a seat again. I like that the seats ping out. Oh, the seats made it further than my car. Okay, so aside from the kind of understeer issues, it might also do a wheelie. And then when you do a wheelie, you really, really lose steering. And then you lose bits of bodywork on the way down. That also shows just how steep that hill is. You don't quite get the appreciation for that hill when you're in third person. That's a really bloody steep hill. Well, it's certainly proving entertaining to drive the Maluch down here. I wasn't expecting the huge understeer out of the corners, or the kind of the wheeling even out of the hairpins, to be the issue with this car. I thought there could be other places that the car might struggle with, but exit of slow corners, not quite so much. However, yeah, that's where pretty much all of our problems lie. The suspension is good in terms of dealing with the bumps. I thought it might even be a little bit top heavy. We haven't really had any concerns with the car tumbling over because of it being top heavy sort of through corners or anything. However, it's the tendency to wheelie. Too much weight at the back, not enough weight at the front, and very soft suspension is giving the car some serious grief. I'm not really sure what the best way of tackling Sebring in this car is going to be, other than perhaps carefully. No, if we go for that route, okay, we got away with a big wheelie mid-corner. I'll take it. Yeah, if you kind of go to the cut to the inside route, the bumps cause the car to wheelie around the penultimate turn we go. Can't really get on the power until we're fully through it. Don't cut. I'm not going to mess around with the inside there. And then it is the run to the line for the little Maluch. It is only going to be 53 miles an hour across the line. I mean, it did some damage to the caravan. I'm not sure it's quite enough. I think we need to finish off the job, perhaps. That's not going to help either. I think the caravan's defeated us. Big wheelies, and the caravan has defeated us completely. It's the first car to be defeated by the caravan, I think. We might still have enough steering. Oh, no. No, we do not. Now we've attached ourselves to a tree. Come on. Come on. You can do it. No, we've attached ourselves to a different tree. Can we fight our way? Oh. Oh, dear. We've pushed the caravan onto the rally stage, and a tree has, I say growing through our car, has appeared through our car. Wildlife beats Maluch, basically. I'm not sure how quick the Maluch's time is going to have been down that course. I think it's a little bit underpowered and a little bit too difficult to drive through the corners, so we might have a new last place, but I will be, again, it's been a very, very close series in terms of stage times, so I wonder if that will continue for another episode. So, on to the leaderboard, and it does indeed still remain pretty damn close. The I-Series leads the way, however, the ETK 800 will go into a second place. A second down on that I-Series rally car, but it does beat the Comet and the D-Series. The more I look at that brake fairly crash, the less I understand it as well. Watching it back when editing it, I really don't know why it just refused to stop into the hairpin once. It complete mystery, but still good for second place on our leaderboard. We do have to go further down to find the Miramar 117.2 for that car. The Maluch behind it, not as far down though as I thought, a 118.3 for that, considering the lack of power that thing had and the bit wibbly-wobbly and wheeling through the corners. It's not as far down at all as I was expecting it to be. The Miramar perhaps not quite got the power of some of these other cars to make the most of the acceleration zones or the grip of the all-wheel drives when it comes to the turns. That, though, is going to be it for this video. As ever, I shall link all the mods used in the description so you can download them, have a go with them yourself. But thank you very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.